Thank you for joining. Hello, hello. We're going live with Sherry tonight, so we're just trying to figure out how to accept and invite each other. So um, I'll begin the live in a few minutes when she hops on. Alright, guys. What is up? Thanks for joining. We're going live with Sherry tonight, so we're trying to figure out how to sync both of us together. So just give us a minute. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? How do we do this? There we go. We got it. Okay, so wait. I think that's how. Figuring this out, guys. Let's see. Did you get it? There we go. We'll invite her again. There.
Hi!
We figured. Wait. Are we kind of figured out?
We are figured out, and it's so good to see your face.
Yeah, buddy.
There's my Lainey.
Yeah. What is up? What is up? Are you guys excited?
Everyone's excited, of course. Hi, Ruben. I'm just gonna give Lane. I'm just gonna give Lane some credit that she deserves. So, the past, I want to say like 2 weeks, or week or 2 weeks.
Right, a week maybe.
Like the past week, we connected a while ago, but the past week we literally been talking every day. And I want to say, if you guys don't know Lane, you need to know her. She is so knowledgeable, not only with law of assumption, but also she's a certified life coach, and she does recovery and addiction, or what is it, certified recovery and addiction coaching too, right?
Yeah. Yep. Addiction recovery coaching.
So she's just so humble, and like, I don't know, we think we're part of each other's soul tribe.
There you go.
We're soul tribe friends. So I just think the world of her, and yeah, she's just amazing. So she's the first person I've ever dual lived with, and
I'm the chosen one.
the topic we're going to talk about is what to do when manifesting in the middle. Or like, should you go to the end? Should you, what to do in the middle? Should you manifest in the middle? How should you manifest in the middle? So that's probably one of the biggest questions that we get, right? Christy says you guys are awesome. Thank you. I think we are too.
Hell yeah.
Got my pink nails for the weekend.
Oh my god, girl. I didn't get mine done yet. I'm slacking over here. And I don't have my chai.
Got my chai tea, got my nails done, and I'm ready to talk about manifesting.
Let's do this. All right. So, one of the biggest questions I know that I get asked when it comes to manifestation is, I want to manifest a text, and what does that mean when it means, or let's get this, straighten this out. Manifesting a text and living from the end, and what is the difference between the two of them, and why can't I just manifest the text even though I want the relationship in the end?
Right, yes, or 100%, or just hanging out, or just manifesting a text is probably the biggest thing that people want in no contact. Mm-hmm. So do you want to go ahead and speak on that first, and then I'll add my 2 cents? Okay, if I have any.
Let's hope you do. So the reason why we say just live from the end, it's really not that hard. It's a really simple concept. It's because living from the end implies that you already have the thing. So if you already have the thing, of course, your specific person is going to be texting you if you are happily married in your imagination to them. Or if you are currently in no contact, if you are in your imagination that you are in contact, you're in a happy relationship, they're committed to you, then those things are going to manifest and lead you to that end manifestation, and you will continuously get the same things in that manifestation. So you'll have the contact, you'll have the texts, you'll have them calling you, cute pet names, going on dates with you, telling their friends about you, introducing you to family. That all comes when you live from the end with the marriage or the relationship, whatever you're looking for. And this also includes, like, if you're manifesting money, get clear on the thing that you're manifesting the money for. Because usually we don't want just money, right? We want things for the money. And that's why we need the money, because we want, the house, we want the car, or we want the vacation. There's always something we want the money for, and that would be living from the end, not focusing on just having money. Make sense?
Yep, complete sense. I love that. So, okay, so let me all right, I should have turned off my I should have put my phone on do not disturb, sorry. So let me ask you a question. What, and I know that okay, so let's get into, we're law of assumption coaches, guys. So if you really study Neville, you'll notice that Neville's answer was always, you're already there. You already have it. You go straight to the end. The end is where we begin is one of my favorite Neville Goddard quotes. And that's something that I will often have to tell myself, like, oh, why am I thinking about, like, all these circumstances or problems in the middle? The end is where I begin. That's the 3D model of reality, is focusing on the middle, right? So when it comes to manifesting a specific person, right, we go to the end, which is I have the relationship. And if we're focusing on text messages and not having them, then we're not living in the end. But here's the thing. You have to realize that if you're going to manifest a text, and I've done this, okay, I told Lane about this. If you're going to manifest a text, so like, let's say you have your end, and your end is I'm girlfriend or I'm boyfriend, right? And then you want a text message too. So then you have another objective that says he or she texts and calls me all the time. That can go 2 ways. Or he or she texted me, okay? Because if you're living in the end, like Lane said, they're going to be calling and texting you all the time. At some point, they're going to have to reach out. You're going to have to get in contact with them again, right? So if you then say, okay, I want to manifest a text message, the end is where you begin. Your end would just be the text message. So your objective would be, they texted me, and you would do maybe an imaginal act or a script, or you would script something out about what they texted you. And when that manifests, and this is what happened to me, where I had my end, and then I manifested a text. So how I did it was, in my scripting journal, I wrote, so-and-so texted me, and I put like little quotation marks, and it was like everything that I wanted to hear, like all these amazing things I wanted to hear. So I had 2 ends, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. The text message is one end, and the relationship is another. So we don't know, because creation is finished. So essentially we already have everything, right? The minute that we embody that state of consciousness, we have it. But in terms of becoming physical and tangible in the 3D, we don't know when it's going to happen, which one's going to come first, right? With me and what I see with clients and myself, it's usually like the small, like, I don't want to say smaller, but like the text message or some kind of contact or running into them or whatever. If you have like these little manifestations, I call it micromanaging the 3D, micromanagements in the middle. So with me, the person literally texted me and I was telling Lane this, and we were laughing. Every single thing that I scripted, almost word for word, but then we didn't even see each other, then that was it. Like, then I responded, and I was like, oh my God, they texted me everything I wrote. I'm so happy. And then they literally went back to being a fuckboy after that because it wasn't in my end. So the way that I look at it, right, is one, I knew how powerful I was. And this is why I say only manifest in the middle if you have that emotional self control to realize that it doesn't mean that I fucked anything up. It's just that they're two separate manifestations. So, like, when that happened, a lot of people are loving our live lane. I'm looking at the comments. But when it happened, I felt super powerful because I was like, oh my God, like he's literally part of me. He's literally me pushed out. There's never been a separation. But then he was still being a fuck boy, and I got the text, but then the other end, which was the relationship, didn't happen yet, if that makes sense. So if you're micromanaging 3D, you have to realize that if they're coming forward and then they take a step back, because they can literally, and here's another thing, guys, they can literally come forward and like mirror back to you what you scripted or the text, and then the next day be like, you know what, I thought about it, you should move on. Mm-hmm. And then you have to really persist, remain faithful to your assumption, and trust in the unseen to your end if that's what you have been manifesting. So do you agree with that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, each thing that you're doing is a manifestation of its own. So how you manifested the text was its own manifestation. That doesn't mean that that manifestation is anything to do with your end of having the relationship. They're two separate things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so that's I don't even mess with the middle. I just decide what I want, get clear on it, outline it, do whatever technique, embody it, whatever I want to do to get me to that state. And that's all I focus on. I don't do anything with the middle.
And just to like piggyback off what you said. So when she said that text has nothing to do with your end, she's absolutely right. But here's the thing, right? If you're, so let's say like you decide you're heartbroken, then you discover manifesting, you're in quote unquote no contact. Okay. Quote unquote. And you go to the end and you're like, you know what? I'm girlfriend. I'm going to live in the end. I'm going to do visualizations at night, or I'm going to script or use inner conversation from the end. And that's it. I am girlfriend or I am boyfriend. That is my end. And then 2 or 3 weeks into doing that, they text you, you know that that's your end unfolding without a doubt.
Yes. Yes.
So moral of the story is, and I will do things in the middle. I'll be very honest. I will do things in the middle, but it's with the knowing, and it can get frustrating, but it's with the knowing that it doesn't have anything to do with this over here that I've already, planted that seed, right? Mm-hmm. So it's doing it in the knowing that if this happens, I have to remain even keeled. I cannot react. I have to trust in the unseen of the relationship and keep doing me. And most people in the beginning of the journey, and I hate to say this, but most people don't understand that. And that's when sometimes people will spiral and think they did something wrong, or it's never going to work, or they're never going to conform, and all of the above.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot of clients come to me like, oh, I got the text and da-da-da, or, I saw him for, a night. We spent the night together, and now he goes to me after, like, I haven't talked to him, like, a week. And they'll write down the drain all the work that they did, and it's like, well, that's a bridge of instances. This week apart means that he's missing you even more. It's making him realize that he wants this relationship even more, that he can't be without you. So that's all. He's just tying up his loose ends to then come back to you. Give it good meaning. Got to give everything good meaning.
100%. And also, sorry guys, I'm not trying to ignore. I'm just trying not to read the comments because I'm having a conversation.
I'm more important, guys.
I wish we could bring you guys in our conversation. But thank you so much, Ace. All right. What was so and here's the thing, and I will say, a week means nothing to me. And if you guys are one of my clients and you text me and say he hasn't responded in a day, I'll literally and say he hasn't responded in a day, I'll literally respond. It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone, myself, who had a formerly very anxious attachment style, who had the days of staring at WhatsApp or staring at the phone to wait for text messages, I'm telling you, there's no urgency anymore. I can literally say like 99% of the time I am unbothered by text messages or the concept. Like a week is nothing. Literally nothing. 2 weeks, nothing. Time doesn't exist. And I think, and like, I want to hear your opinion on this, Lane. Like, when, and like, how, I guess, how I program myself out of focusing on time was just going within and giving it to myself over and over and over and over, and valuing the present moment, which is exactly what I want, and knowing that I already have it, and doing things that made me feel good and made me feel happy, and just
Yes.
repeatedly through repetition going there over and over. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, well, I don't give a fuck if they text me back or not, or I don't care what they're doing, I don't care who they're with, because I'm so far in the end and I know that time doesn't matter. It's like, what are your thoughts on that?
I do the same thing. I mean, obviously, we're all human, so we have good days, bad days, but do your best to live from that end and to stay focused in your imagination, because that shit is more real than this really convincing illusion that we're living in right now. So, like, the way that I get, especially if I'm feeling like separate from my person, inner conversations do the trick every single time. I get to say what I want to say to them and hear them say it back, and that connection is just all you need to feel validated, and you're doing it from within your head without even having to talk to them. So you can even do an imaginal act of you having a text mess or texting them or a phone call with them without actually doing it in your reality, and it will put you at ease every single time that you do it.
Yes, I 100% agree. I love to hear them tell you your affirmations. A lot of people are saying they agree. Yeah, I love to have them tell you your affirmations. Like, I'm feeling anxious right now. What's making me anxious? I haven't heard from them in, X amount of days. Well, like she said, and this is something that, and here's the thing, we can hear things 1,000 times, and maybe on the 1,001st time, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I understand that. Wow.
Yeah. Light bulb.
I think it was Wayne Dyer. I forgot who it was. Okay, it could have been Dr. Wayne Dyer, was saying something like, oh yeah, it was Wayne Dyer. The 3D is literally an illusion. Your real, well, Neville also said consciousness is the one and only reality. But what was the quote that I recently heard? It was something along the lines of like, this is your true reality, and you're just waiting for that to become an illusion. So that really stuck with me, and I was like, wow, that's powerful, because it's so true, right? So the 3D is literally just an illusion. We only care about it when we're getting what we want. We only care about what's happening in the 3D when it's exactly what we want to hear or experience, and it becomes tangible to us. So it's just also, for me, it was also reminding myself that, oh, this is another big one, and I want to hear your opinion on this too. When I first started the journey, I used to do things so I could experience it in the 3D. So I would like sit down. I think we've had this conversation before. I would like sit down and I would say, okay, I'm going to script and I'm going to do my meditations. I'm going to fall asleep just so I can then get to experience it in the 3D. And I was like, and with that mindset, I would manifest things, of course, because I was like doing all the right steps and living in the end with these imaginal acts. But I was still in this, like, on the, what I call the hamster wheel of like chasing like all of my manifestations so I could have them in the 3D. But I realized when I was listening to Neville, and here's the thing with law of assumption, it's so simple once you understand it, but it's so confusing in the beginning, right? To understand what Neville really means. What he's teaching is so simple, but in the beginning it's also hard to understand, as confusing as that sounds. So oh my God, I gotta stop reading the comments because they're distracting me. So I was like reading him one day, and again a switch went off, and essentially what he was saying in his teachings is that when we do these imaginal acts or, script, whatever we're doing, right, with a thought, because the basis of everything is the thought, we already have it. And that kind of ties into how I dropped the concept of time, was that when I do these imaginal acts, I'm doing it because I want to experience it now. I might be feeling like I want to experience love. So I value the power of now. Go into my imagination, give myself love. I can include another person in that, often a specific person, right? For example, and then I know that I already have it, right? And that's when you do that. Also, you get off the hamster wheel of chasing everything that you want, and you're doing things just because you know that you're in total control of everything, and it's like you're treating yourself to have everything and anything that you want, right?
Yeah, and you get less triggered when you're doing it that way compared to chasing things or feeling like, oh my God, I got to make sure tonight I visualize, because if I don't visualize tonight, then I'm not going to get my manifestation. It takes the stress out of manifesting and makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I've had so many of those days where I'm like, oh my God, I fell asleep last night. I fell asleep last night and didn't visualize. Now it's not going to happen. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. I was like, one of my clients, we spoke about something 6 months ago. And I think she did like a couple imaginal acts and then kind of forgot about it because she went on to manifesting something else, and it showed up 6 months later. So time literally isn't a thing. And I had to point it out to her. And I was like, when was that? And we counted, it was 6 months ago.
Wow. It has to manifest. It doesn't matter how long. Has to.
Yep. Hi, Lucas. My little nephew's in here.
Nice.
Thank you for the likes, Lucas. What was I going to say again? So, what do you want to add anything to the middle? Any other questions that you get or anything we didn't touch on?
I think that the most important thing that you can take away from this, obviously there's so many different ways that you can manifest. You can do it in the middle, you can do it to the end. It doesn't matter per se, but the easiest way is what we're teaching you is to just embody the state from the end of the desire as if you already have it now. And that's going to alleviate a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the stress and panic, and it's going to make this journey a lot more enjoyable and a lot simpler to understand what you're even doing, and it's going to build your confidence way up. So that's the main thing that you need to take away from our talk of messing with the middle. If you feel like it's something you want to try and just go straight to the end, try it. If it doesn't work for you and you feel like you want to do it in steps, then do it in steps. But just know that you're the creator and you're the one that is making the rules in your reality.
Oh my God, that was so well said. And also that you can never make a mistake. It's never too late. You've never ruined anything. And that also ties into valuing the power of right now. It's not a big deal. When we work with clients and they think they've messed up and they're all upset, we look at them and we're shrugging our shoulders like it's okay. We can change that instantaneously. We're not waiting for anything.
Yeah.
And I just also want to add, guys, that we have nothing to fear. And that's something that I have really, really just kind of like a light bulb moment for me in these past few months. And it's an affirmation that I say now regularly. Like if I find myself, even like small little things like being stressed about work or being late for something, to be like, oh, I have nothing to fear, right? Because we're literally the creators of our reality. And again, when you go to the end and reprogram and get there, or reprogram through repetition of visiting that state over and over and over again, you will drop the fear and, like she said, all of the anxiety that surrounds it.
Exactly. Perfect. Do you want to answer questions?
Yeah, we can answer questions. Do you want to go first?
Read some off. We'll bounce them off together.
Hi, Marcy. I feel like I haven't really... I'm not seeing a lot of questions in here. We got some comments. Hi, Ariana.
Well, guys, ask your questions.
Thank
you got
you for
2
the crown. Thank you
Coach
for
is
the
right in front of you. It's free coaching, guys.
It's free coaching from two of the goats.
Hell yeah.
Literally, mark our words. We mean that quite literally. Okay, I have a question about how to deal with hot and cold behavior.
Ooh.
Ooh. Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
Oh, we can both give an answer, but so with hot and cold behavior, you're gonna understand it's coming straight from you. Your thoughts are hot and cold. You're not fully living in the end. You're not fully. Well, you don't have to believe that you can manifest it, but you're not fully in the state of having. You're still getting and allowing the 3D to trigger you, and you're reacting to the hot and cold behavior. So then it's got no choice but to create more hot and cold behavior.
Yep. Well, like I always say, it's like imagine it like this. You're handing their subconscious the villain edit or the hot and cold edit with your state of consciousness, which is also your self-concept or your self-identity. So literally, you're handing their subconscious like you're knocking on it, right? And you're going, here's your villain edit. Tell me you love me today, and then tomorrow tell me to move on and that you hate me. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, he's getting those thoughts, and he or she's thinking it's their idea. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to go. I love her. And then the next day they're like, oh, I got something else to do. Like, I'll text you in a week. So again, it's go to the end. Oh, I do want to add though, we're always going to have a new end, because even after you're in the relationship with them, you may want to manifest marriage or children or a vacation, or maybe, making the relationship more passionate if the relationship changes, and it gets less passionate over time. You may say, all right, now I'm going to manifest that the passion comes back. Mm-hmm. So you're always going to have a new end.
Yeah, because when you grow, your manifestations grow, your desires change, and it's all part of the process. That's why it's a journey.
Yes. And it's a journey for all of us. Like, mm-hmm. Do not think that I'm just living my life in the 5D. Like it was so like one of the first things that Lane said to me when I was like, okay, we're definitely gonna be friends, was I need to have more of a work-life balance. And I didn't realize that in every live I was affirming that I'm a workaholic, but then saying I need more of a social life. I never have enough time to do anything. And like one of the first conversations that we had, she was like, I was like, what did I say? I think I told her I need to start having more of a social life. And she was like, well, you've affirmed in every live I've seen you in that you're a workaholic. And I was like, have I? And then the next day I like canceled plans. I'm like, well, tonight I'm going out, blah, 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 blah. And then I canceled plans, and she was like, and I love people that are really direct and honest with me. And she was like, if you want to have more of a work-life balance, you can't keep putting it off till tomorrow. I was like, you're right. I needed you in my life. So then the next day I went out and I had like 3 coconut mojitos, and I texted her. I was like, I had like 2 or 3 mojitos.
Yep. I got a sloppy text from her.
I was like, good night. We'll talk tomorrow. But yeah, like we're all on the journey. And how I like to put it is that like when it's you kind of have like the foggy goggles on and you can't see. So like we can, and you guys all know this when you're giving someone advice, like you can see very clearly in someone's reality where their thoughts are, what their issue is, right? Even before you were spiritually awakened, but when it came to you, it was like impossible for you to see how the situation really is. So like she said, everyone's on the journey. It's all part of being a human. And I always say that if we aren't going to experience feeling emotions, we might as well be dead, because we came to this planet to experience feeling a rainbow of emotions. If we were emotionless, what's the point of being here? We're not learning anything. I mean, that's my understanding.
That's true.
I don't know what yours is, so
I don't know. I don't show my emotions, so I think my emotions. That's what
you're even keeled. I'm the complete opposite. Before my spiritual awakening, I was a huge reactor. It's even from like one of my best friends was like, oh my God, like even from last summer till now, which is less than a year, my reacting has gone, it's just like, and I don't even think to react to more anymore because it just I can't even explain it, but I've literally, the old man has died and I've just become a different person. Like I don't even think to react. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, like, and then it's almost like when you get to that point, you have to look back and reflect and be like, wow, like a year ago when these sort of circumstances manifested, I would freak out, and react, even if but I would always pull myself back into the now. And again, when you do that over and over and over again, it just becomes part of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then on a neuroscience standpoint, you're firing and wiring those pathways over and over and over. So again, Neville was way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time.
Hell yeah.
That man spoke fast.
Yo.
Do you want to go with a question now?
Yeah.
Guys,
Questions.
We're gonna be answering questions, so I'm seeing some in here now. Do you want to answer one of yours? Are they giving you questions?
I don't know. I'm getting hey, hi, love the life. That's what I think I'm behind.
Okay, yeah, you're getting all the lags.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting some feedback. I really like this dual live thing. I need to work on not reacting. It ruins my relationship with my SP. You or me, so I totally get it. But here's the thing, and this is what I said: nothing is ever ruined. Okay, revision is a whole separate thing. We're gonna do another live on revision.
Yeah.
Also, okay, we'll talk about that later. I was gonna say something. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Or
No.
do you have no idea?
No. I'm out of the loop.
That'll be another announcement. Oh, I don't want to jump too far ahead. All right, let's change the vibe up a little bit. This is not about a specific person. I like answering questions sometimes that aren't SP, just so it's all done the same. You guys, everything is done the same. So, like, on my coaching session today, the woman was manifesting a house. And I was telling her, I know you see most of my content, and it's about a specific person because that's 99.9% of the questions we get. But it's the same, like, the house is the specific person.
Yep.
So it's the same exact way. So CC Brooke, it looks like BKLYN looks like Brooklyn says, been manifesting the perfect job for months. Oh, wait. Now I have 2 job offers. Don't know what to do. Well, that's amazing. You manifest. Yeah. You manifested the job offers. So how I would tackle that was I would go to the end of making the best decision. Like, I feel, it's almost like you feel so relieved that you chose the best job for you. Like, oh, thank God I chose. And then list out the qualities that you want in the job that you chose. So some qualities right now are obvious. Like, you know how much you're going to make. You've probably met the boss already and things of that nature. But you can add in, like, my coworkers are like family. Everyone loves me here. Like, you can list out that. Just to add on that, you're not going to make a mistake no matter what you do, as long as you're living in that state. Okay, it doesn't matter what unfolds in the 3D. As long as you're in that state, you'll never, everything, you're going to get exactly what you want.
That, and so let me add. So when you're manifesting a job and maybe you don't know what kind of job you want or how much money you want to make, you can also do the list method and write down the qualities of that job. And I wouldn't get specific on, like, oh, well, I want to be a supervisor and I want to be part of this certain company. Leave your options open because manifestation can unfold in so many different ways. So put in the traits of the job. So you want to get paid maybe a certain amount of salary. You want to do something that you love. You want to be able to maybe work from home. My best friend, she was manifesting a job, and I told her, just pick the traits, because she's like, oh, well, I want to be a supervisor or a director. And I was like, don't worry about the title. When's if you get a job that is your dream job, but it doesn't have that title, but it's everything that you've ever wanted, just not.
Oh my God, so true. It's like the tunnel vision we get, and that's a 3D mindset.
Yeah. It's limiting yourself. So you don't want to limit yourself. So just be open-minded to the things that you want. So like when I manifested coaching, I was very honest with myself. I want to be able to help people. This is for not just manifestation coaching. This is for, the addiction recovery and life coaching. I want something to where I love what I do, make my own schedule, work for myself, excited to go to work every single day, make a change in people's lives, get people results, things like that. And that's what manifests.
Yep. So true. And I will say, with what she said with her limiting ourselves, anytime that I've manifested money and it showed up, I've always been like, I should have manifested more. So don't limit yourself. Trust me. And I'm sure you can say the same thing.
Yep.
You're going to see it comes in and you're going to be like, wow, I should have doubled that, because it came so easy from ways that you wouldn't even expect. Like she said, the tunnel vision mind wants to say, I have to be a director to get this, to make this much, to have this position. This is the only way. And she helped her friend open her mind to, like, you could be actually happier, you could have more than what you want. You can't limit yourself. The mind is limited, and we're limitless. We're programmed to think that we are limited and that we have to almost settle and always have a plan B, and it's just not the truth.
It's just the ego. It's a logical mind saying, oh, well, I don't have a degree in this, so I can't get that type of job. Because logically, that doesn't make sense to get, a CEO position and you're down here working, mopping floors, okay? How do you go from one to one? Well, we don't worry about that when it's manifestation. You just know that you're going to be up here and get out of this state where you're down here.
Yep. And it's funny that you say that, because Bob Proctor, who I love, he's more law of attraction, but I just love him. He's like grandpa. I just love him. I love him. When he was 26, he was mopping floors.
Yes.
And he wrote down that he was making a certain amount of money, because back then there were no cell phones or computers, so what did he do? I think he put it on his wallet that he was making a certain amount of money. And he had no education. I think he was a high school dropout. Yeah. And within like a year of him writing that down, he was making, I forgot how much it was, but it was just like, he was wealthy for that.
I think it was like $1 million or something off of his cleaning business from mopping floors.
Yeah. And wasn't he like in London, even mopping floors in London? He was like international. 26 years old, just by saying, well, I have this much money. I like to think of intentions as, when you set an intention, or Neville called it an objective, which is from the end, I already have this. I like to think of it like with motion behind it, because everything is energy. So like the vision that I get in my mind, it's like a baseball bat takes the intention and like just slams it into the 3D so it can manifest for you. So just realize that these intentions are so powerful. We are really powerful beings. Our thoughts are energy, and every thought that you has the potential to manifest, right? So think about it like, when it's something that you can define, you know what, I'm getting this, I'm going to go into, I already have it. As soon as you do that, just imagine that the energy of the thought is like, boom, it's going to manifest. It's going to show up in the 3D. Just to clarify, because I don't want to confuse people, what manifests is your state of consciousness, okay? You're also known as your self-concept or your self-identity. Thoughts come and go, so not every thought you have will manifest, which thank God, because, I mean, our brain wouldn't be able to handle it if every thought we had. True. What's going to manifest is essentially not the thought, it's the state of consciousness, right? How do we get there? Through thinking it, because the basis of everything is a thought. So I hope that I explained that well. I just want to be clear, okay? That's just like a little visualization that I like to do in my mind with the thought, because it helps me get excited and feel like it's impressed my subconscious. It's the state of consciousness that manifests. So I hope I explained that well. But yeah, it worked for me. So a little tip.
You guys, do you get more questions? I'm still on that. I think I'm frozen on mine because I got the hellos.
Okay, now I'm getting. Wait. All right. Wait. I need to wait. Okay. They all just came through at once now. Oh my God. Hi, everyone. Someone said, can you repeat that? I need a job. So we're actually going to, we're both going to upload this on our YouTube channels, the live replay. So, I'll be uploading it tonight, and I'm sure Lane will be doing the same. My link is in my bio. The name of it is Sherbear. It's linked to my TikTok. And Lane, what is yours? Your YouTube?
Mine's Soulutions Coaching. Mine is linked in the bio too.
All right. Any questions, you guys? It's like they all come through at once, and it's hard to. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I like this one. Okay. How to visualize if I can't really see things in my mind, just hear my voice explaining. That's perfect. Because here's the thing. Okay. Now, I am an advocate for visualizing personally. Okay. And if you follow Neville, so was he. But more or less, you want to embody facets of reality. So I'm going to read that again. How to visualize if I can't really see things in my mind, just hear my voice explaining. Now, hearing it, something is embodying a tone of reality. So that's going to manifest. So for example, if you're hearing yourself, that's inner conversation like Lane spoke about earlier, that's going to manifest. Okay. If you're hearing other people talking about you having your desire already, because at the end is always where we begin, that is going to manifest because you're embodying a facet or tone of reality. Now, how I visualize, first of all, I affirm that I'm a master visualizer. So I'm embodying that self concept. So that's who I am now because I embodied that self concept. I like doing these imaginal acts because I get so in them that I feel like I already have it and it gets me really excited. And it just kind of, like she said, relieves all my anxiety, like Lane said, when I like really get in that state and, you know, impress my subconscious with it. So what I personally do before is I will write an objective at the top of the paper. So for example, I would say, I'm going to Barbados, or I'm going to Bahamas, or I'm going to Europe, or whatever. And then I would script out a little scene with something that I want to focus on in the visualization. So I would say, for example, all right, well, let's say I wanted to go to Italy. Okay. I would imagine myself, like, for example, cheersing with like a wine or drinking an espresso in first person. So I like to do so. Okay, I will quickly say, in the beginning, I used to do like these really elaborate scenes of sometimes places I've never been that were from the end, which is fine. That's still going to manifest. But as I get on this journey longer and longer, I pick scenes that are like just everyday life, like really like simple scenes, like the one that I said, I'm cheersing wine or I'm drinking an espresso. But you just have to imply in the visualization that your objective is true. So like if my objective was I'm in Italy, I would script out like, well, I opened the door to a coffee shop. I walked in, the person said ciao, you know, because usually in America that's not how I'm greeted. And then I ordered an espresso and said to myself, or said to the person that was waiting on me, I'm so happy to be in Italy. This is the first coffee I've had while I'm here. Very simple and natural. Okay. With an SP, the example that I almost always use, and I copied this from Neville, is falling asleep in the assumption that I'm with the person, or like I'll tell my clients fall asleep in the assumption that they're married. They can feel the ring on their finger, but very, very, very simple scenes. And your mind is a muscle. So the more you practice it, you'll just get better and better at it. And you're thinking with any thought you have, you're using your imagination, whether you realize it or not. So you're more or less probably already using it. You just don't realize it. Start paying attention to when you hear these conversations in your mind, and you're going to be thinking some sort of picture along with it.
Yeah. So like one thing that I like to do with my clients that say, "Oh, I suck at visualizing, I can't do it," is I tell them, if you guys want to do this with as I'm speaking, I tell my client, close your eyes. They close their eyes. Tell them to relax. They relax. Tell them, think of an apple. What color is this apple? Does it have a stem? Does it have a leaf? Where is this apple? Is it hanging on a tree? Is it in a fruit bowl? Is it in your hand? Or is it floating in space? Then I tell them, if they're not already holding it, to take their hand, grab the apple, and hold it. And then see their initial on the apple. And then tell them to open their eyes. And they're like, oh, wow, I can visualize. That was super simple. And then tell me all the details. Like, as I'm speaking it to them, they're like, oh, the apple's green. Or it has a stem, no leaf. It was just floating in air with a black background. Things like that. And then I'll ask, like, sometimes, what does the apple feel like? Does it have, like, a soft peel? Is it kind of, like, what texture is it? Is it firm? And get all these details. And then they're incorporating that in their imagination with just saying, think of an apple. When you put the pressure on yourself to say, I got to visualize this thing, your subconscious might like shut you right down because you're scared of the word visualization. So you're not scared of the word think of something, and it just pulls the image up. That's how simple visualization is.
Yeah, and I love that you just did that, because while she was talking, I was visualizing everything that she said without even trying. My apple was green with a brown stem, and I could, feel the skin of the apple. Right now, I want to point out, guys, I was in the third dimensional reality, focused on what she was saying, living this experience. My phone's in front of me, but in my mind, I saw the apple and then I held the apple. What's actually more real, okay, and I want you guys to really, 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 really listen to this, is the apple. Okay, because consciousness is your one and only reality. That is more real than this conversation that we're having now in the 3D. Mm-hmm. This conversation is only happening now because we manifested it. So does that make sense?
Yeah. That, and I'm gonna guess everyone is going to message us, I manifested an apple.
Oh yeah. Oh, he said that helps so much. Thank you. See, when we put our minds together, we'll give you some great answers. So I actually really, really love this dual live. Mm-hmm. Vanessa Millette said, this is so good. Thank you, girl. All right.
Or you want to hop off?
It's up to you. You want to answer one more?
Yeah, we can do a couple more.
Okay. Do you want to answer this one? How to let go of resistance? Someone said apples for days. Very helpful, ladies. Everything's coming. Everything you guys say, it comes in like sometimes 5 minutes after you guys all say it. So sorry, but anyways, how do you let go of resistance?
I mean, everyone's different. So what is your resistance? First off, is it just having the thought of something and you're feeling panicked by that thought? Is it a fear of not being able to manifest? Like, resistance is just something within us. So once we figure out where that resistance is even coming from, or like why we're having trouble within ourselves of comprehending, like, or what we're feeling, then that's how you figure out how to drop the resistance. It's just a feeling within you. So sometimes, like, the way that I've learned the best way to drop resistance, for one, is to drop the desire for a little bit and focus on every other desire in my life or little manifestations, and then go back to it, and I come at it with a lot more confidence and sureness. The other way is sitting with myself and asking myself, like, why do I feel like this in relation to this desire? Or why am I having these kind of thoughts in relation to this desire? And then my subconscious always gives me the answer. So sometimes I'll just find like a video and not even like intentionally go look for the video. It would just pop up like on my For You page or YouTube or something, or I'll see a title in the book, or a friend will say something. It always manifests in different ways. Sometimes it'll just be a thought of, hey, yeah, maybe like how I learned to drop it is I ask myself, like, why am I feeling like this? And why do I feel like I have so much resistance to this specific thing? And then the answer popped up in my head, like, just drop it. And then I did it, and there goes the resistance. I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders after that, and then it manifested shortly after. It was just me focusing on it so hard that it built up the resistance in me because I'm looking at the 3D for evidence, and it created all these feelings and emotions within me that I am powerless, And as soon as I dropped it and focused on other things, I gained my power back and my confidence in manifesting, and that's how it happened. So everyone's different, though. What's your perception on it?
No, I completely agree. And I just want to say that for anyone who's on the self-development journey, like she said, like sitting with yourself and literally having the courage to say, okay, where is this resistance coming from? It takes so much courage because most people will never do that. Mm-hmm. And I know that's my assumption, right? But I think we can all agree, most people will never do that because a lot of times the answers is it's deep. Like she said, the subconscious knows everything. And a lot of times the resistance has, well, almost all the time the resistance has nothing to do with what you're manifesting. It's something from childhood or something that happened. I don't, it doesn't even have traumatic experience, but something that really stuck with you that made you not feel good enough or less than that you're kind of holding on to. Mm-hmm. So when you sit, like she said, and become aware of what you're thinking and where is this coming from, you will always get the answer. And I also want to add in that just by you knowing that your thoughts create your reality, you're not the same person that you were before. Like, so I always tell people, you're not going to go back to the powerless person who was in victim consciousness, who thought that they had no control over anything. You're already someone who knows that they're the creator of your reality. So that's already a new concept. So you're already releasing a little bit of resistance. You know what I mean? So I will say, like, resistance doesn't exist in my world at all anymore, because if it does show up, one of the first things that I remind myself, and this is just over and over again, repetition, not giving up, I know that I'm the creator and I have nothing to fear. Mm-hmm. And it's just proving it to yourself, and not even proving it, but just going there. Because in the beginning, you're going to think you're delusional and crazy, or I've heard like some of my clients tell me they think they're gaslighting themselves. Yeah. I think I've even felt that. Like because it essentially does feel like the definition of gaslighting is creating a false reality. And you're literally like, it seems like you're creating a false reality at first, but in actuality, that's exactly what you need to be doing. And I love the fact that I forgot her name, but we've been saying forever, you have to be delusional. You can't, manifestation is not logical. You have to be delusional. And I've even had people troll me about that in the past and tell me, like, we won't even get into that. But thanks to Nas, Nas literally got on stage, and I forgot the girl, but I love her TikTok. I was looking at her, I think it's Kiara or something. Did you see that viral Oh, you didn't see it? This girl posted, I'll try to I'll find the video later. She posted a video saying, you have to just be delusional. Like, essentially her video was like, she was like, a guy could be next to me and I'd be thinking to myself, oh, he wants to clap these cheeks later. And she was like laughing to herself, and the video went viral. And then Nas talked about it in his acceptance speech. And he was like, she's right. You got to be delusional. If you want to get essentially what you want, you got to be delusional. So yeah, I know we kind of just went off on a tangent and kind of got a little off topic. Well, we gave you a lot of good insight. So
you got answers.
You got a lot of answers. You got a lot of insight. Thank you. We're getting all sorts of good feedback. I love you guys so much. If you guys liked Lane and I doing a Jewel Live, which I actually really, really enjoyed this.
Yes.
We will do another one. Probably we'll figure it out. We'll announce it. This live replay is going to be uploaded on both of our YouTube channels. So again, mine's in my bio, it's Sherbear. And then do you want to say again where yours is?
Mine's in the bio, Soulutions Coaching.
How do you spell it with a soul though, right? Soul?
Yeah. Soulutions Coaching, all one word.
Soulutions Coaching.
Mm-hmm. I got creative.
You did. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
And mine's my childhood nickname, Sherbear.
There you
go. So, for the pink nails.
Yeah, girl, the pink nails. They sold this whole live.
And before, we were on the phone before this, and I was like, my nails are pink, or I made some comment to her, and she was like, you didn't, she was like, oh, well, how do you know mine aren't pink too? So just because we had that conversation, I put on a pink shirt and pink pants, and I'm pink from head to toe.
I can't deal. From my understanding, though, pink is the best color that you could wear in a live.
And to manifest.
Yeah, we're like cotton candy right now. I got the blue background. You got the pink.
Blue is my second favorite color.
Opposites attract over here, guys.
We balance each other out.
Yeah, yin and yang.
Someone said lashes. I got my lashes done today. Thank you.
Me too, girl.
Lane loves it. She loves it.
Mm-hmm.
But all right.
Up, but you know, I didn't want to. I didn't want to show off too much tonight.
All right. Well, I love you guys. I'm gonna log off.
Then if you guys want help, we both offer coaching, so go check out our websites. Not that you need coaching because you are a master at manifesting already, but if you do want help, and if you enjoy, you know, me, Jerry, whoever, you can hit us up for coaching.
And follow Laon, guys. I'm telling you, she is one of my faves. She's the first person I've ever do a live with. She has so much insight, and you guys know I always speak from the heart. She has so much insight. She's so knowledgeable. She's so supportive, non-judging, just a really good, genuine soul. So, we thank you guys so much. Again, this was so fun. This duo will be back.
Yeah.
On that. Now I'm logged on that last. It's my understanding. It's now my assumption to end this live. Love you all.
My understanding, you got this.
Bye, everyone.